Yeah. Welcome to the podcast. Stop Crying Poser, greatest podcast known to man, as voted by every member of the United States military and the Mexican military and the Canadian military and everyone that works at 7-Eleven, giving out free Slurpees today. Shout out to Day, We Are Sad, Ron, Stop It, Small Paul to Super Poop, Cam 702, Polar, Tell, Derek, Gats, Fletcher, Skate, D, Trick, Mullet on his head, feet on the ground. It is Friday once again. We do this podcast every single Friday right around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Right now it is 3:42, meaning we're only 12 minutes late. What happened over the past 7 days? Well, when I last left you guys, I was really hungover on the 4th of July. And even though I ended the podcast kind of in a bad mood, the mood ended up getting a lot better once I finally got outdoors, got my feet in the swimming pool. I got some little cheese and a pepperoni on a crack-a-doo. I was eating those out by the pool, drinking some light beers, friends, family, and then some badass fireworks. Boom, fireworks exploding in the air. Rye Dog had all of his children there. It was a great time. Did a backflip off of the wall into the swimming pool, which is kind of becoming a 4th of July tradition for me. It's been 3 years in a row now. I've gone to the same place and done the same backflip off the same wall into the same pool on the same day, the 4th of July. But you know what? If it's not broken, then you don't need to fix it. And 4th of July was a great time. I left their house, right, I guess 3 kids now, so he's not staying up drinking till midnight. In fact, he didn't have a beer for the entire time. If some of you might be watching this podcast and you're a little bit more new, I used to do like weekly drinking vlogs where the guy I'm talking about, Rye Dog, I'm explaining him as if everyone knows who he is. If you've only discovered my channel in the past like 5 years, you might not know his character on my channel. Anyways, he would just be always the most drunk person, the most obnoxious, and now he's like the father figure in our little group of people, and so much so that even on the anniversary of our country's independence, even while the aliens are attacking and Will Smith is slapping comedians in the face, he has opted to live a quieter life without drinking alcohol. I left their house around 9, came home, sat on the roof of my house alone drinking beer while streaming on Twitch. All the cool fireworks. Had a great time doing that. Then had some friends come over a little bit later. So overall, my 4th of July was really good. And I was having a conversation about this here on Twitch with one of my friends, Lunar Jump. And he was saying, hey, I saw that video of you on the 4th of July. I saw you doing a backflip into a swimming pool. Then he's like, we're getting kind of old for that. And my response is always, yeah, I got to stretch out a little bit more. Even though I'm getting old, I'm still able to do, this fun stuff. My body's been holding up. I'm pretty healthy. I say shit like that, I can go jump up on the wall, get drunk, do a backflip, go cliff jumping, ride a skateboard, still play sports, lift heavy objects when I need to. But of course I say that. It's funny, one of Rye Dog's uncles, Uncle Lucky, said, hey, Steve, how's your YouTube and your skating thing going? And I was like, man, Uncle Lucky, it's crazy. I haven't had a bad injury in a long time, dude. My body's working great. I'm losing weight. I'm still able to kind of like do some tricks. And then the very next day, I'm trying to figure out how to connect my DSLR camera to my computer. And I'm having such a tough time. I'm downloading software. I'm looking up what wires I need to buy. I'm looking up how I got to put the settings in the camera. And I'm walking back and forth. And I'm holding the camera in my hand. I'm looking down at it. Walking back and forth, walking back and forth. I just got a new computer in the other room. So I had my old computer right here in this room. So I get up, I'm looking at the camera, my eyes are a little bit distracted, and the old computer case, it's not even that big. I would say it's not even 2 feet tall off the ground. It's maybe 1.5 feet off the ground, but somehow my stride matched the computer's energy so perfectly that I did some Jorge Masvidal flying knee right into the corner of the old computer. And it went right into the soft spot of my knee. I fell down and did a side flip and started screaming. And I was holding my knee tightly like, oh, fuck, I didn't think I'd be able to walk. You know, I've done this before where I've hit my knee really hard. I grab it and you hold onto it really tight and you're in like extreme pain. And then there's this moment where you let go of your knee and you just hope you don't feel your bones shifting under your hands. So I do finally, you know, after a few minutes of like crying on the ground, I look down at my knee and then it swells up and it locks up and now I can't walk. And I couldn't walk on Sunday. Couldn't walk at all. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday gets a lot better. And then by Tuesday, miraculously, my knee was completely better. But it's one of those moments where you slam your knee. Your knee is like the most used joint you have, and it's under the most stress all the time. And it doesn't heal very quickly because you're always using it. It's really hard to wrap up your knee the way that you would wrap up your wrist. You know, it's really easy to not use your wrist all day. Try to fucking sit down and stand up without your knee being in the equation at all. Try and do that while having to go drive your car and get groceries. Kind of hard driving your car with a bad knee. Taking a shit. Yeah, that involves sitting down and standing up. Oh yeah, if you're the type of human being that takes shits, which is probably all of you, trying to heal your knee can be devastating. But I got very, very lucky. It seems like the only problem with my knee, it did swell up, but there was nothing internally wrong with it. The bones were fine, badly bruised, I guess. But yeah, after those 2 days, swelling went down to nothing. And I was immediately better, which is unusual, right? That's not the normal way that your knee would heal. Usually I'd be on my back for another fucking 7 days right before I could even walk at all. So, very fortunate, very lucky that worked out. The knee today is great, and let's knock on wood. It's great. I'm very happy, and I was really worried. I'm at that age now, too, in skating where, like, one big injury could be, like, the end. That could actually be the last one. What else happened? So I did get up on Wednesday, and I said, you know what? If I just do too many ninja reviews... Well, my issue was that I need to upload a skating clip every week. That's part of what I try to achieve on Twitch, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is Ninja Review, Friday is skating, Saturday is review, Sunday is podcast, and it's always the same program every single week. So I was stressing out trying to get a clip, you know, and I was like, well, I can't stress out my knee too much. I'll just set up my flat bar. And I had recently just plugged in this old TV. I found out that it was broken, I think because I threw my phone at the TV after losing a UFC bet. Let's not talk about that. Let's just pretend we don't know how the TV broke. But I looked up how to throw away a TV, and I guess you're not supposed to just throw it in the garbage can. So I was like, oh, I'll just go throw it in another garbage can so I don't get in trouble. So I took my flat bar, which is like my skating rail, and I put the TV under it. And if you guys saw the video that came out today, literally everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Starting with, I set the TV up in the background and I'm going to do a board slide. And my plan is I'm going to like display something funny. After I edit the video, I will like superimpose something funny onto the TV so it would look like I was skating right next to a working TV. But of course, right when I put the TV up, I skateboarded away. I got 5 feet away from the TV, and the wind gust pushed it over and broke it immediately. Of course, it was already broken, but that ruined the whole idea for the YouTube video. Luckily, I did end up landing all my tricks first try. I did a 50-50, broke the TV, turned it around, a couple more 50-50s, then did some crooked grinds. And my camera was set up in a way where you could kind of see the rollaway, but you wouldn't see all of the rollaway. And I was like, that's not going to be a big problem because I have 2 cameras. I have another camera on a tripod that's sitting on my car. So that if my first camera doesn't capture the trick, if I roll out of frame, the other camera will see what's happening. But then I remembered it's me. It seems like that would be a perfect idea. But then I remembered, oh, it's me we're talking about. So, of course, the wind gusts just get heavier and heavier. The wind starts blowing insane, which only happens on Tuesdays or Wednesdays or whenever I'm skating. Every other day in Las Vegas, windless day. Extreme wind gusts. Only the moment that I open my trunk and pull my skateboard out. Also, best part, right when I put my camera equipment away, silence, 0 wind at all. But what happened was the wind also blew my tripod and it made it do a 90-degree turn. So if you remember my earlier argument where I was like, well, if I roll away, the other camera will catch the rollaway. It didn't because the wind made it turn a 180-degree rotation, and now that camera captured nothing, which is perfect for me. That's exactly what I deserve. I skateboarded on a TV, I did a crooked grind, I snapped and broke through the TV. Really a bummer because part of the TV screen fell off, and then I dragged it along with me. But you can't tell that from the video, and I can't redo it. I can't re-put the TV back together and have it break in such a perfect way that it shatters underneath me and part of my skateboard trucks clip it and then drag it across. It's like the most perfect and aesthetically cool way to land a trick. And the wind and the cameras and the situation ruined it. But the good news is I was able to throw that TV away without getting in trouble, so I guess that's good for me, right? What else happened on that day? Well, I was so excited that I got so much work done. You know, I filmed like 5 ninja reviews this week, or maybe 6 of them, and did some skateboarding. And I did 3 of those videos on the same day, which I think was on Wednesday. Landed my tricks. I say, you know what, dude? I feel really accomplished. I've been grinding hard. I've been cleaning up the house. You know, I've been a real workhorse. Sometimes I get like kind of bummed out and I don't want to clean shit and the house gets really messy. But this particular week, man, I just been a madman cleaning, skating, doing reviews, editing, thumbnails, just a real workhorse. So I say, I deserve a reward. So I go gamble $20. I gambled $20 and then I lost and then I won. I got out of there with like $26. I tipped $6. So I went to gamble and I didn't lose any money. That was great. Had a couple of beers and then somebody called me from the liquor store. They said, hey, we got a whole shipment of steel reserves in. I said, oh damn, and you thought of me? So I went down there. I picked up 12 steel reserves for $24. Very good price, by the way. Super good price. And went home and drank one. And then one of my friends came over and I drank another one. And then another friend came over and I drank another one. And I'm like, oh, I got 3 of my homies here on Wednesday. If you guys were here on that stream, we did a trust fall where I did a front flip off my couch. Had my friends catch me when I was all just belligerently drunk, just yelling at everyone. And then we had a fight where we were each hitting each other with replica, like steel chairs, like wrestling. And then I ended stream, played dominoes, drank another steel reserve, and by the end of the night, there was only 4 left. That means we drank 8 of them. And I was hungover as death on Thursday, but that was a whole day ago. Today's Friday, and we're gonna do it all again. But I do feel like sometimes when you're working really hard, it is nice to give yourself a reward. You know, maybe a nice steak dinner or maybe a couple of beers on the house, but I don't think that the reward, it kind of loses its hype giving yourself a reward if then the next day you're hungover as a dog's dick and you can't do shit, which is how I was yesterday. No big deal. The good thing about being drunk for multiple days is you come up with some good ideas. And I came up with the idea of International Tfunk Week. What is tfunk? Well, if you follow my skateboarding channels, you would know that he's a pro skater that I probably make more jokes about him than any other pro skater just because he has a really odd and unique style. He's really well known. He's really beloved in the skateboarding scene, which kind of makes him like the perfect target to make jokes about because his fans get really, really angry. And I don't actually dislike the guy. It may seem like I unfairly target him or bully him, but it is because it kind of just gets the clicks, right? It gets the kids involved. You make fun of their idol, their hero. They come in droves and leave hundreds of comments. And it's always a safe bet that if I make a video where I'm making a joke about this particular pro skater, it's going to get more attention and more views. So I thought to myself, why not do a 5-day long event where I do a video on him every single day and then maybe make some extra skits. And I think it's going really well, and it's really funny. And people are getting really mad. And as I always say, I mean, I've gone on this rant a lot of times. If you watch my videos and I'm screaming about a toe on the ground and your first thought is, oh, this guy's super angry. This is a 100% serious video. This guy is not playing a character. He is not acting. This is how he is. If that's your first thought, when I'm wearing like a fucking cowboy outfit going, yeehaw, time for a skateboarding review. And your first thought is, oh, the fact that this guy is so serious. Motherfucker, I'm literally dressed and acting like a clown. Either I'm the greatest actor ever, or the new generation of human beings is dumber than we could have ever imagined. But it keeps us on our toes, right? Just like the first time I ever... What's wrong? What's wrong with me? This week I saw at the grocery store corn still in the husk. And I said to myself, you know what? I've never bought corn in the husk. I'm not a corn eater. Looked up how to do it. I just baked it in the husk, no problem. Rubbed it with some spices and some butter. Chopped that fucker in half. Bit down on it, ate it, and I said to myself, where has this vegetable been my whole life? And now I want to get it all the time. I want to try all the different kinds. And it's probably not worthy of a podcast topic, but god damn it, corn is good. Where the heck has it been my whole life? How did I go 10 years? I just see it at the grocery store. I never bothered buying it. I never bothered looking at it and like, oh, let's try that shit out. So I think now that's going to be like my weekly thing. And as a kid, I was exposed to like corn chowder. And I think I just believed that that's always how corn was going to be. Or corn in a can. And I just thought that, oh, that just must be how life is. But no way, dude. There's way better versions of corn out there. And this is common knowledge to you guys. But for me, you can't be exposed to everything all the time, right? No one knows everything about everything. So sometimes these things that may seem basic to you guys, I've never had exposure to. And god damn it, I'm about to start getting down on the corn. We're going to switch up the recipes. We're going to go Mexican corn this week. Also later this week on Cooking with Ninja, we do a live cooking stream every Monday or Tuesday. We're also going to be making Mexican ceviche. So if you guys are not following on Twitch, check that out. Anyways, I bought corn the other day and it was really good and I cooked it, and everyone should buy corn. That was an actual podcast topic. So I hope you guys are strapped in for how exciting and edgy today's episode is regarding the purchase of corn. All right, we're going to throw one from out of nowhere. First one to answer this question correctly wins a free Ninja Lifestyle sticker pack, and this one's going to be easy. What are the colors of the American flag? First person to type all three colors wins. The reason that trivia came from out of nowhere is I just want to see who's on their toes. Who's ready? I wanted to see who had their fingers at the keyboard ready. Who had their fingers on their phone ready to type. Because some of you guys, you turn off the lag on the stream right when trivia begins. We got some sneaky, slithery snakes out there. The Super Poop, you are the winner. Send me a DM after the podcast and claim your prize. I slipped that one in there. Oh yeah, the date today is 7/11. If you're watching this on iTunes or Podbean or YouTube, it's too late for you, you piece of shit. But if you're watching this live right now, by the way, we do this podcast live every Friday. You can go to 7-Eleven right now and grab yourself a premium Slurpee. They're even doing some kind of promotion where you can put a tattoo on your tongue that is somehow related to 7-Eleven. Ask me how I know that. We looked it up. This stream is sponsored by 7-Eleven and Steel Reserve and tfunk. What else is on my list here? Gonna be a quick podcast today. We're kind of rifling through these. My camera. I told you guys when I hit my knee on my computer, it's because I was fussing. I was fiddling with my cameras. I have 3 DSLR cameras here, T2i, T3i, and the SL2. And I was trying to figure out how I could use my old T3i as a webcam. And I bought all the shit you gotta buy. It's expensive. There's wires going everywhere. You just want to get this shit over with. I get everything set up. And because the lens on this camera is not so good in low light situations, right away, it looks like shit. It looks just as bad as my webcam, which at this point probably costs $20. So I probably spent 8 hours researching how to get all this done, trying this, trying that camera. I had to buy a special drive for SD cards so that I could put special firmware on my camera so that I could get clean HDMI video out, which I'd install that. And then I had to get a dummy battery, another wire. Then I have to get the mini HDMI to HDMI, another wire. Then I have to get the Cam Link 4K, another wire. There's wires going everywhere. I'm spending more and more money. The camera it looks like shit. So last night I broke down. I just bought a fucking $60 webcam. Fuck it, dude. $60. I've had this webcam for like 5 years, maybe like 6 or 7 years. I fucking spent the money. You know, a wise man once told me. His name is Doug. He said, you don't always remember the money you spent, but you remember the times you had. So I'm hoping that one day after I buy this dumbass $60 expensive ass camera, I will remember the fun times we have on stream. And by next week, we'll have a nicer camera for the podcast, for when we play games, even for when I film Ninja Review. We will be starting fresh with a brand new webcam. It's exciting. It was very frustrating. And now it's got me looking up on Amazon how often is too often to return shit. Because if you go back at like my last 10, my last 10 purchases, I probably returned 5 of them. And I feel like if Amazon is, if they're doing their due diligence, they're probably going to catch me. And I'm not doing anything malicious. I just buy shit and then realize it sucks and I have to send it back. And I feel like I'm being a bad person. Not that I give a fuck about Jeff Bezos, but certainly it's got to be hurting the smaller brands. And sometimes I buy something really small and I know that it would cost more to ship back. So then the merchandiser, the fucking vendor is like, is like, you just keep it. So I know I just stole money from them, and I feel bad about that. So I don't like to be returning shit all the time. But also, your shit sucks, man. Amazon keeps giving me shit that's not working for my needs. And you could be like, well, do more research. I try to do research, Amazon, in your fucking customer reviews, where everyone's a fucking liar. I'm trying to do my own research, but all you hire people to go on there and fucking lie. And then I buy some shit that some fucking person said was great. Turns out they're getting paid by Amazon or getting paid by some other company to pretend this product is good. And now here I am returning shit all the time. So good. Fuck you. I downloaded Call of Duty. Oh, it's fucking 300 gigabytes. Biggest game I've ever seen in my life. Took me 2 days to download it. And then the internet, Cox Communications started throttling my internet the next day, ruining my stream for 2 straight nights. And I downloaded one called Warzone. Never played it. Still haven't played it because I've been busy this past few days. But I looked up Warzone on YouTube and on Twitch to see what it was. Bro, this is not Call of Duty. When did they change everything to make it so lame? You can fucking fly now. And then also, you're going around shooting and people can choose their character. You're shooting fucking Homer Simpson. They turned it into a fucking cartoon game. And admittedly, it was an arcade style shooter, but I used to enjoy the idea that if I shoot an AK-47 in real life, I could also shoot an AK-47 in Call of Duty. This kind of seems cool. If I could wear this certain type of fatigue in like the Russian military, or I shouldn't say that, but some military around the world, and I can dress like that in the game, cool. I'll tell you what soldiers are not doing. They're not shooting laser ray guns at each other at Homer fucking Simpson while ziplining across the map, and then they can fucking suddenly parachute on it. Whenever they decide to parachute, it can just happen. Like the developers of the game skipped any knowledge of how a parachute works. Completely ignored that. And now a parachute is sudden. It might as well be Stranger Things. Might as well be people flying around. It might as well be fucking Harry Potter. I swear to God, Fortnite, Harry Potter, Roblox, Minecraft, flying around bullshit. So I'm probably gonna have to delete Call of Duty. It was free. Granted, it was free. Probably gonna have to delete that. And maybe I'll download like One Player Battlefield or something. I want to play a game that it doesn't necessarily have to be real or like feel super real, but it has to be more real than Homer Simpson flying around. Right? Is that too much to ask? Oh, I can't wait for this podcast to be over, and it will be over soon because after this I'm going to a sandwich shop called Schlotsgys. It's a big franchise, but it's not worldwide and it's not all over the country. They make like open-faced sandwiches, but the sandwiches are big, like a pizza kind of. And they use like sourdough bread that they toast so it's crunchy, and they load your shit up with a ton of toppings. So think about a hamburger, but double the width, and instead of it being squishy, it's hard and crunchy. That is what I have to look forward to after the podcast. They even have some with like bacon, avocado. They got some that are like Italian sandwiches, so you get like deli meat and pepperoni and shit. Salami on that bitch. Oh, I can't wait to get off this goddamn podcast, which is going to be very soon, because that's all I had to talk about. Can I get a oh hell yeah from everyone in the chat? I appreciate you guys for hanging out. I apologize a little bit for last week. I was just in a bad mood, and on a fun holiday where the weather's nice and there's people swimming, I don't want to fucking be on stream talking. But today, I got time today, cuz I got time to talk to you guys today, and I very much appreciate all of you guys' viewership and and contributions to the stream. Shout out to Paul Miranda, the Super Pooper. Run! Stop it, Ron! iBook Boy, Shallow, Bassist, You Made It, Fletcher, Low Key, Polar Tel, Cam 702, Paul, Derek, Guy just changed his name back, D-Trick, Small Paul, Raygun. Extra big shout out to iBook Boy for subscribing for 52 months, Polar Tel for subscribing for 36 months. iBook Boy also donated 100 bits. And last but not least, Gyges, the old school Mama Jamma, the greatest GoldenEye 007 player, the Chinese Ching Chong teacher, has donated $21.10. That will go specifically to I'm probably going to get the original with avocado. That's going to go towards my sandwich. I'm very much going to enjoy that. I appreciate all of you guys who support the podcast, especially the ones who send money. But I know not everyone has access to money because not everyone has maps. You can still support the podcast by telling a friend. Tell your friend who skateboards, tell your friend next door, tell your brother, tell your coworkers about the podcast. It's a great way to spread the love without spending money. So, anyways, that's all I have for today's podcast. I will continue the stream, but as for the official podcast, it will be over. If you tuned in late, don't worry, you can catch a repeat of today's podcast on iTunes, on Podbean, on Spotify, on Podcast app, anywhere where podcasts can be found. And if you have iTunes, go on there and leave a positive review of my podcast. And that would also be your way to contribute to the stream. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Have a great weekend. And as I always say, don't drink too much and don't drink too little. You get a free Slurpee! Slurpee, Slurpee, Slurpee!